Okay, this is OK here, and we're seeing game one of the match between Kleerkast and National Master blitzbullet. Kleerkast from the Netherlands and blitzbullet from America. And we see watching Opperweisen, the finisher, Die Blaue Sau, rating doesn't matter, and Mango Kid, as well as Sunpower 68 and Time 1118. And we're down some fairly mainline looking stuff. We're just going back to the beginning again. E4, E5, Bishop C4 and move 3. But instead of Bishop C5, going for a D6 and Bishop E7. Castles, castles, and the knight swinging into D5. Okay, so the early pin on F3. We have knight at F4, okay. So knight at H4 is sometimes an idea, and then you might give up the queen for 2 pieces. But knight at F4, I mean, either move is trying to have a look at G2, so just swinging back a second. So it's C3 trying to stop this knight moving into D4. Crazyhouse offering text commentary, that's nice. Okay, so he captures that knight and he's having a look at G7. Okay, so both have a knight and bishop in hand. Black gets first. So often in these e4 openings, it seems like black gets a certain initiative, but unless he can really capitalize on it, white has a material edge. But here it seems blitzbullet's done reasonably well. Queen can't go to the G file; both those squares are covered, so you can't threaten G7. I mean, F6 even looks kind of annoying. You always have to be careful. This the one difference is white's bishop is very active and staring straight at the, whereas the black bishop, corresponding bishop, not so much. So Die Blaue Sau says can win the queen now, F3. So I hadn't noticed that I won the queen, because if you take with the pawn, oh, there's knight here, check, drop a bishop, and knight to F4, winging the queen. So nice spot. And blitzbullet goes for it. Blitzbullet I regard as a very dangerous opponent. He almost beat Jan Lee. In the end, drew 5-5 in the candidates last year. Oh, okay, so we see he doesn't go down that road exactly. Yeah, Die Blaue Sau mentions the line I was talking about. But for some reason... okay, this is quite nice. So the queen is trapped, apart from here, because if you take this bishop, knight takes f3 comes, when picking up the queen. So he sacks his queen for a piece, and black's got a certain... yeah, I mean, an extra queen, but I don't know how to... needs to defend somehow. I mean, G7 and F7 are the problems. Okay, so it's trying to kick that bishop, but it's difficult. I mean, yeah, do you have control over d5? And yeah, I guess you do. Ah, I didn't spot d3 was hanging. Okay, so we get white's beginning the attack on. So often you might not want to take this knight immediately, sometimes you do, but the knight can't take anything, so you might just stop it from retreating to either of those two squares by dropping, say, a pawn at g6. This is one possibility. Or you could take it, or you could do what blitzbullet is doing, which is go straight into a counterattack. And Oppa actually has a comment of why this seems to have gone wrong earlier. I just want to scroll back to here. He says d4 should have been played here, and that's maybe the slight error that white made. But just returning to this, so we see a black with a certain initiative, okay, and he's going for a back rank attack, although both squares where he might want to drop it. Yeah, I wonder why they're not here, because it's difficult to drop a rook in support of that pawn. Could drop a rook here, I guess. But okay, now meanwhile there's 3 knights. That is dangerous. I'm wondering how dangerous. So I mean, white might have something with his many knights. But I guess the king could always just go to the corner. So it's not knight takes pawn, rook takes, bishop takes. Yeah, there's nothing immediate. Okay. Okay, now there's a mate threat. Knight h3, pawn at knight h6, pawn at g7. So black has to attack, meaning he has to keep the checks going. And 6 seconds on the clock. Okay, so he defends the mate threat with the rook. It still might be there though. No, because the rook can take the pawn. Oh, it still might be there though. No, don't see anything. But now, okay, he's given him another move to attack. Check. Does he have anything? The rook could just take it. It feels like white's run out and is about to get. Yeah, I mean knight. So black clearly missed mate here because just knight at f7 was surely no. Okay, maybe it wasn't. It wasn't It wasn't so easy. Yeah, those last few moves. Wins the queen with check. Really, that. So I was favouring black that whole game, but suddenly at the end, white is winning the queen with check, and it's looking very close to mate. I'm just going to just quickly. I need to run that through just to see what was happening in that last game. And meanwhile, just returning to the beginning of this one, we have e4, knight f6, and a Scandinavian. Okay, so the bishop to b5, pinning that knight, and he's opting not to castle, but to use the rook to defend g2. So the finisher says, yeah, the last game was close, and Di Blasau, hard position to be low on time. And hi everyone from Antic. Greetings back. See all the usuals. Mango Kid, Opperwaisen, Crazy Home, Di Blasau, H-Bar, Rating Doesn't Matter, myself, Antic, F-Gala, Shamatista, The Finisher, Deadban, FM, KJJL, all watching. So, he says, defending against blitzbullet is tough. He finds nice resources. Well, so while he's just blitzbullet's having a think that game, yeah, I think it was the other way around in a way, because blitzbullet was the one on the attack. Looking from his perspective. Bishop takes knight, gave away some of the edge. Rook takes knight here, apparently was stronger for black. So at the end, actually, it was Kleerkast taking over. But most of that game, I felt blitzbullet was in control. Well, any missed mates? Mates in 23, so no easy missed mates. And even along here, no clear missed mates. Just a mate in 23 for white. So nothing very concrete. With knight takes g6, check being a key move, just running through the computer line. Takes, runs, check, check. I mean, this is this sort of line, and I'm still, yeah. Okay, so returning to the current game. So just running through from the beginning again. So you have this sort of position. Okay, exchanges knights, so he brings the queen to d5. It's eyeing f3, but it's also hitting the bishop. Bishop comes back to defend, and now the queen is under attack. So he moves the queen, so c3, still eyeing c3, pins. So he's trying to distract that bishop so you can take the knight. Very nice. And as someone says, they haven't played each other so much, blitzbullet 12-5 historically. Most of their games apparently were in 32nd Crazyhouse, which isn't very representative. But blitzbullet does indeed take the first game. Queen takes e3 is tempting, says H-bar. That is a nice move, because then you're dropping a pawn on f2 and winning a rook potentially with check. You might need to promote to a knight to guarantee the check. And Kleerkast finds it. Oh, he promotes to queen. Okay. Well, shouldn't make too much difference. Now you're potentially winning the queen as well when the king drops back. d2 is covered by the knight, so you don't have any pawn drops. Charlotte says king e1, because if you go to here, is that particularly... Of course, I hadn't considered. Queen takes f2 immediately is also a possibility. Because if you drop back, you do have this. So this is a nice play from Kleerkast again. Yeah, so it's weird. The last game, blitzbullet is winning the whole game, but then Kleerkast is fighting back, but then under time pressure, he can't maintain his attack. So actually, blitzbullet wins. Blitzbullet, I think, is very fast under time pressure. He does try and put time pressure on the opponent. This is very surprising. Why is he just giving away the pawn? He obviously wants some kind of knight check. Oh, I see. The bishop was covering f1. Okay, that's my slight blindness. Not seeing that. Okay, so indeed we get that. Okay, rook. I don't think he can never take the rook because of knight at h4 check. So I don't think you need to be worried about that. I'd be very tempted by knight takes bishop, just followed by rook here. It's giving away a knight, but why not? Okay, looking at the squares for this king. There's only these two squares available. Oh, sorry. Schwanat also suggesting bishop g4 is a nice move. So what's the threat? You could win the queen with rook here, going for a much more aggressive bishop here and going for a mate then. So the king can't run back, it has to run forwards. And all these knights are protected, so we've only got one pawn to mate. Oh, and that's protected. Okay, yeah, nice mate. Nice, nice, nice. Very nice. So yeah, sacking the rook for mate is a good deal. So Kleerkast ties the match at 1 game all. They say Kleerkast's finish was the more pretty one, whereas ours was just the easy one. Without having to think much. So just having a look, what was in the last game, what was the continuation suggested? Rook g3, picking up the queen. Yes, that's true. That was what I thought as well. Okay, so we have a French defense with the annoying pin and the casual targeting of dark squares in black's position. Because it's not even theory, you just know that if you're playing this position against the French, just target dark squares is going to be a good strategy. Someone suggested bishop takes f6, knight h5 a little earlier. So just to recap, okay, I'll just recap from the beginning again. So we're in a French with a delayed d5. In fact, d5 never comes and e5 comes. So it's actually a... okay. So it's actually not a French at all. Yeah. And so it's in this position, yes, bishop takes f6 and knight at h5. It's very annoying. But that was not played. Castles, takes, the queen is hit, wins a bishop, hitting the queen, wins a knight, places the knight. Okay, so it's a targeting of light squares really in this position. That's the issue. So Kleerkast with all the knights. But the thing is, all his knights are on light squares, so they're doing good defensive duty, but they're not quite yet in an attack because he's still in the kind of mode of attacking dark squares because they're all on light squares. He's attacking dark squares. Okay, that's nice. Just picking up a pawn and winning something. So in this game, Crazyhouse says Kleerkast applying a lot of pressure now, because before that they were talking about the last game, trying to squeeze positionally. And the dead man says, I was thinking knight to a4 at some point. Is that too slow? Blitzbullet plays so sharp usually and loses when he starts to play safe. So knight to a4 would have been here, would it? It's going for something a bit more aggressive, basically. And this is a good piece, this bishop. So Blitzbullet's got really nice, quite nice leaving that knight there. Well, I think it's the knight can take this bishop. Definitely take. Takes. Okay, so we're not seeing that, but I was thinking of a line. Knight here, queen takes knight, but yeah, maybe he was worried about bishop takes f2 at the end of that. pawn, maybe. Now you really want a knight for here or a rook for here. So which piece can we go hunting for? Ooh, I like bishop here. Bishop here, check, pick up a rook. This is beautiful. Yes, yes. Well played, Kleerkast. That's going to seal the king in. And then bishop takes rook is then going to be a mate threat on h8. Ah, and Crazyhouse also saw it. Nice. Almost resignable. What do? You have to find a mating attack, basically, in this sort of situation. Seems queen covers f3. It seems white's pretty safe at home. Oh, the knight was covering e6. Okay, okay. It's getting overexcited. Okay, so let's bring the queen into the attack. Bishop here is potentially picking up a queen, but is it good enough? He's again going for the sort of a sacrifice. So if rook takes bishop is forced. Is he hoping for queen takes rook? Oh no, it's not. King takes pawn. Seems like he was hoping for queen takes rook, and then rook here, and bishop here being mate. But yeah, I'm not seeing the mate. Okay, he's just picking up the queen, and it's just too much. Black has no pieces left on the board. So earlier H-bar says knight h6 was mating too. Oh, we have the mate. Is it mate or resigns? But yeah. Okay, so 2-1 to Kleerkast. .23 spectators. So we're into d4, d5 territory. Now the bishop swung into f4. We could call this a London system. The score is 2-1 KK, so let's just type that down. Ah, someone else got there first. Okay, so with that move, there is an implicit threat of bishop takes h3 and pawn drop on g4. Not necessarily winning material, but making progress into white's kingside. So where's that knight go? We could take the pawn, but then the queen comes in and starts hitting that bishop. So I think that's why he's just moving the knight. If pawn takes pawn, that's also giving a pawn for black to attack with. So it's double-edged. Don't think white's quite ready to attack just yet. This is quite a good move because it's also a defensive move on f3. And it's also hitting. Wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, taking this bishop. How is that helping? Ah, I see, it's improving defense here. Okay, so now here's the problem. Maybe we do just defend. The question is, yeah, white's doing a good job defending. Yeah. So going back here, the finisher asks, oh god, I missed the critical point. Takes knight here, king here, knight takes bishop check, and queen here checkmate. Wow, lethal attack. He was asking was bishop takes e5 something, and I was just distracted having a look at that. So 2 games all between these two. And just to have a look at what he was saying, in this position, he was wondering about bishop takes e5 with the idea of takes back, takes the queen, and knight e7. Okay, so that is in fact the idea that transpired in the match. But first taking the bishop first. Queen takes g5 is essential, because in this position, it's mate in 2. Yeah. So in this position, bishop takes knight, queen takes g5 is the correct response. But white is still in control. And later, the way he did it was dropping a knight, taking the bishop, and then doing this. Again, queen takes g5. But yeah, down in this way, you take the queen, and black can't afford to take back because of this knight takes bishop, queen h7, which is very pretty. So 2 games all. Crazyhouse says blitzbullet is not prepared at all for the CWC, and queen d2, the Mariotan idea to sack. I've seen blitzbullet himself play this idea, so I didn't know it was a Mariotan idea. He's played it against GSVC twice, and once GSVC played it against him. The queen goes first and sacks on h6. And he starts a massive attack now on via h6. We saw him play this in previous games very successfully. So he takes the queen. Yeah, so I think white's got some really nice initiative here in terms of pieces. He's won his queen back, but he's still a piece down. So it's exactly a piece down, but look at the black king. So this is a very nice move because you're hitting both g7 and e7. So threatening presumably bishop drops, so because g7 is protected. Sorry, it's a weird trackpad. I just did that. Bishop at g7 is possible, but having said that, you have to be a little bit careful because that rook is hitting g2. So, nice move, targeting d6 while also defending g2. So those are the sort of key squares. Surprisingly equal material. Yes. Well, actually, did I miscount? White is actually equal. Okay. That was a miscalculation. So just going back. Yes. Takes. Yeah, it's actually equal. Completely equal. But with white with superior position. Well. So the threat is knight here check and pawn here checkmate. He has the knight, but he doesn't have the pawn. So white will have just one move to defend. It's kind of risky. Does rook takes bishop something? No, because then you can take with this pawn and give your king an escape square. So black just needs a pawn to mate, but there's no pawn. Oh god, there is a pawn. My goodness, what a mating attack from blitzbullet! Wow, I was thinking white was in really good shape in that position. So blitzbullet takes a 3-2 lead. I mean, if I just rewind just a few moves, I mean, he wins the queen, he begins an attack. Okay, so this position here, how is white doing? +3, g takes f3, so he does g takes f3, knight at f3, king h1, king takes g2, knight f4, so everything played according to how he should. But this one move, rook to e1, and suddenly things are not so good. Pawn at g2 is essential. Failing to go pawn at g2, and he is getting mated. King f1 being the only defense. King h1 getting mated by what we saw in the game. By what we saw in the game here. Takes, and checkmate. So the key point here was pawn at g2. And if something knight takes g2 or bishop takes g2, white gets to start his own attack. So there's a slight delay. So returning to game 6. So looking from the perspective of Kleerkast. Takes. Cool mate, as the finisher says. Yeah, really impressive. So takes. So we're going to have one of these grinds again. Okay, white refusing the queen trade for now. And really strong. Needs to really reinforce his diagonal. Because there's both the bishop staring down that diagonal and also the knight threatening to remove one of those bishops. So he really doesn't want to give up control of his fianchetto. Okay, so simply protecting the e5 pawn, which now is hit again. Also eyes towards this and this. Knight takes bishop, probably the biggest threat, because the king could be takes the bishop. And now he's probably going to try and hit the queen if he could. He does indeed hit the queen, as we expected. Okay, so there's no annoying bishop here, but it's coming soon. So black has something to be wary of. Yeah, that isn't going to defend. I think the bishop is going to land on c5. But it's difficult to see what else white could have done. I mean, I was thinking of king going to h1, but then just takes, threatening knight at g3. It's really uncomfortable. And then maybe pawn at h2. Yeah, so maybe king h1 and then pawn at h2, maybe. But we're not seeing the bishop landing on c5 as I thought. And we have the setup, which I was suggesting, with the pawn on h2 and the king at h1. So, and somehow white has got out of trouble. Has got out of immediate trouble, I should say. Okay, we could drop a knight there. Is that going to be quite good enough? That's going to probably encourage the queen to go here if it wants to save itself. Depends whether we need to save material. Okay, that was the natural move, but there's also knight takes bishop. Followed by this, but okay. Yeah, takes, and this is a threat. Bishop at g2, or even pawn at g2. Oh, pawn at g2. Painful. So it looks like Kleerkast should be leveling this up. Yeah, I don't think the two knights can really... The two knights and queen don't mate immediately, and so black seems to be safe for now. I mean, this bishop at f6 is keeping everything safe. Yeah, so really nice. How did Kleerkast play this? He really played it nicely. Okay, he's going for an attack. Knight takes bishop is a mate threat, I'm sure. Let's see. We'd have to take it. It's not a direct mate threat, but yeah, I really... It's as close to a mate, because of this rook, they're knight at e6 ideas, if the king ever came up on the 7th rank. So it is something to be very wary of. Now, I would suggest bishop drop here. Oh, he's risky. He's just ignoring the threats from white. That's really risky. Well, white doesn't have two queens. If he had two queens, he'd have knight takes bishop, pawn here. Queen drop on g7, king takes g7, knight at e6 check, and then a queen landing on g7. The king would have to run up, queen at g7, king. So yeah, there would surely be a mate somewhere there. But he's only got one queen, so pawn, knight, bishop, and queen. Can you really do anything? Maybe he can't. But you could play moves like pawn here and bishop here. Check. This move seemed unnecessarily risky. I mean, it covers g6, but that's all it does do. So pawn at g6 is covered. The king doesn't have to come up. Pawn at g6, knight takes. So I'm expecting bishop here, yep. That's annoying because if you don't take it, it takes back with check. Okay, maintaining control. Bishop takes pawn is force, isn't it? Or you want to go king takes pawn and mop up all these pawns. Yes. Yeah, this is exactly what he does want to do. What's the idea here? Just why can't you just take it? Because he must be planning. Okay, surely black's got enough. Surely black has enough here. And white does indeed resign. Yeah. The queen's in hand. So with that, Kleerkast does indeed tie the match at 3 games all. So he's going to be wary of h6, meaning queen on d2, staring down on that square. Pawn drop on h6, indeed. So he knows that g7 is the issue here, so very nice defending with the bishop. He's got very good awareness, does blitzbullet, of the needs of the position. I wonder if pawn at g7 does anything or just trades. Yeah, this is bad. Queen is going to be running. Okay, can actually go to e5. It's going to be running, though, after this move. Actually, it still could go to here or here. And this could create weaknesses on g3 if you play something quite so aggressive. Rook here? He does go for, oh my goodness, Kleerkast. Yeah, I'm not sure about that move. Sort of like, it's sort of tempting, but it's not something you want to actually play. Yeah, the problem is knight coming into g3 at some point. I guess the rook could just stick to here. Not sure. I feel that's really dangerous. There could be a huge exchange on f2 with knight and queen in hand. Which, yeah, this is the square to watch for white. Really nice move. Yes, I have to say. How did that happen? Just very casually repositions his bishop. That's brilliant. And you want... Yeah, the problem is the bishop is landing on g7 next move. So do you have any... You've only got a rook and a queen in hand. It's quite difficult to see how you deal with that. So I'm guessing bishop at g7 and you're going to push to try and secure something on f6. Okay, but instead we're getting a different... I'm really worried about this. Queen takes knight, maybe. King takes. That doesn't quite work. Yeah. Well, it's going to be all-out attack, because pawn here, king would have to run this way, because king here, knight here would be checkmate. Here, but the knight here is still a problem. I guess he's going to just try and run. So that's his plan. His plan is to do this. Is their way of blocking it off. Okay, so he's hitting the queen, which is close to trapped. could always take the knight as well. Last player says Kleerkast miss mate in 7 or 8. But he doesn't share. Rook at g7 check. Yeah, I thought rook at g7, but just bishop takes g7. Rook at g7 check. Yeah, rook at g7, bishop takes, pawn takes. Oh yeah, and then you're taking the knight. The knight can't escape. Yeah, that's a good spot there, because the knight is actually trapped until you're going pawn takes knight, checkmate. It's very hard to stop. Although, yeah, he will have a rook in hand, and that does make things complicated with at f2 ideas. Yeah, so I'm sure mouse player is correct here. So just rewinding a few moves so that the queen is hit. Let's try to consider how to complete his defense, and that's a very nice move to do so at g7. Defends the bishop, closes out this weakness on his king. The hole is reopened. You're not closing that hole. Rook takes knight incoming for sure. Yeah, with knight f6 ideas. So wow, that didn't last long. The king will go to... Ooh. What? Well, that's checkmate in 1. Yeah, with knight coming into e7, checkmate. So he gets the mate, 4-3 to Kleerkast, and I'll just for the sake of completeness, I'll have a look at that move. So here they're playing the Scandinavian, but we'll just quickly have a look at a very nice idea that's pointed out to us by mouse player. Instead of bishop at d4, rook here, check, bishop takes g7, h takes g7. The rook does enable some kind of counterplay, but you can just block it, I guess. So pawn takes knight is coming with mate, and there's just no piece that can defend that knight. There are loads of checks. So Stockfish can't see mate, but it's unavoidable for sure. So very nice spot from mouse player. The finisher says back to e4. So just to rewind it a little. So we've got a Scandinavian. Yeah, I'm sure it was mate. Okay, so we have this knight at e3 line that Offa Wazen was just telling me this morning is old theory and no one plays it anymore. So clearly people do still play it, because we have it here at the highest level. Castles, takes. Okay, the problem with this queen is it does get harassed a lot. Whoa. So, seems like Kleerkast done a good job here. And this is a critical point in the match, 4-3, because if Kleerkast wins this, he cannot lose this match. Okay, so he's got bishop and rook in hand. Takes. Yeah, white only has a bishop, so it's not something to be too afraid of. Although king here, no. This is the sort of position where Jan Li would go here, just attempt bishop at d7 and then step aside. So Futot says knight d5 was unnecessary. I think. So he says knight d5 was unnecessary. Can't take on b4 because queen e5. Can't take here because queen takes. I'm not seeing. Queen e5, take, take, take. Free knight. Can't take here because this knight was free. Oh yeah, free knight because you're threatening knight here and rook here, checkmate. Nice spot, nice spot. So instead, you do this. Queen here, knight here, check, and he's got the rook for mate. Okay, so blitzbullet kind of missed that mating idea. So that takes it to 5-3. I'm sorry I missed the end of that last game, so I should just, for the sake of the viewers, play through that last few moves a bit more slowly. But the idea that Fumitox was pointing out in the chat basically came to pass in the game. As Fumitox says, true, Fumitox black got all the pieces. So, just looking from blitzbullet's perspective. He played here, takes, he takes the knight here, checks, steps back. Queen here. The problem is, by moving the queen, he's let knight at e2 slip, and the rook drops. He was hoping for a swap of queens so that queen at d7 would be a threat. Off ways I'm saying bishop at g4 check, white is better, I think. Bishop at g4. Yeah, we're going to turn on the engine a second. Bishop at g4. Queen takes g4. Then knight e5, and you're picking up the queen. True. But it turns out black is still better. so yeah. Even though you don't have the queen, all those minor pieces. Interesting. Okay, so returning to the current game. So blitzbullet now has to win 2 straight in order to stay in it, and it's going to be okay, so he sacrifices a piece to get some kind of initiative. This is going slightly crazy. So he takes the knight. He's trying to escape this way, just trying to run his king to d8, find some. And Fumtok says, I'm getting those flowers because I placed a virtual bet that blitzbullet would be in the top half of the candidates. It's not happening though. Bishop at g5, so he doesn't get to d8. Yeah, stops the king running this in that direction. Why not just move the bishop to g5? Indeed. Yeah. So I'm going to play through this game a little bit more slowly because it's gone quite quickly for me. So you have one of these modified French defences that aren't Frenches at all. And blitzbullet's just gone and sacked a piece just for some huge initiative, which is really interesting. But Kleerkast sacks the piece back to liquidate one of the threats. There's no knight here check. There was a knight here check. No, because this square is covered, so there's no knight here check for bishop at g2 ideas, and then the knight swinging to f4 because the f4 square is covered. So he's pretty safe. Takes, he's just developing, takes the knight, and he's trying to escape, but now this is a really nice move. He can't really block, so he has to run that way with the king. Okay, so pawn at h7, just a really annoying move. And here, taking a pawn, with what intention? Just to weaken f6. If you take with the pawn, you have knight at f6, so very nice. He has to take the knight, rook. He's, again, still just going for knight f6, but actually to hitting the rook first. Knight takes rook and then knight f6. So he defends the rook, bishop takes, obviously. Trying to block off the g file, and that is where we are now. And that's why he didn't move the bishop to g5. He wanted this bishop for this little idea of trapping that knight on g8. Okay, so black has blocked off the g8 file, the g file, sorry, and is now trying to get some counterplay. In terms of material, white has is a pawn up, and has a rook for 2 pieces. So it's a rook and a pawn for 2 pieces. Well, it was a second ago. Yeah, still, rook and a pawn for 2 pieces. And there goes the rook for one of the pieces, so there's a pawn up. Sorry, a pawn for a piece. A pawn for a piece, but actually a safer king, I have to say. Okay, knight at f6 is the threat. It's a pretty tough one. That knight's not coming out, so yeah, black looks pretty dead here. Because what do? I guess you go bishop takes pawn. But then the queen takes this pawn, potentially. Although having said that, bishop there is always a threat. But he really wants that queen fork. So I'm just going to just rewind a second. So he really wanted that queen fork, so he gets it. And now he picks off the knight. So now he should have a really big material edge. He's got a queen up for a piece and a pawn, effectively. So queen h5, Fumadox is very proud of that move. It hits the rook, it hits the bishop. Yeah, this is... What do you do against such a move? Sidestep. If the knight here, just take the rook. Okay, he doesn't even sidestep. He thinks he has mate. Sure, he does. Or maybe just going to take all the pieces. So I imagine queen will block. But if queen blocks, you have knight here check and takes the queen. So yeah, that doesn't necessarily work. Okay, he just needs a major for the corner. But that's not so easy. Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. Not seeing the mate. But but blitzbullet is and resigned. So I'm going to have to see where the mate was in that final game. He had to block with the knight or king g8. So when he blocked with the pawn, there was knight at g6, king g8, knight at e7. So if we just take this, knight takes e7. If rook takes, rook here is checkmate, so you have to run, but then queen to f6 is checkmate. Okay. So in this position, yeah, he had to block with the knight, and then bishop to f6 was a mating idea. Rook takes f6, knight at g6. So if you don't take it and you run, you have similar ideas of knight at e7, rook takes e7, knight takes e7. If the king goes into the corner, rook to g8 is mate, so you run. Now bishop at g6. If king takes knight, rook here is checkmate. So rook takes g6 first, queen takes, and then king takes knight, and rook here is checkmate. So it was mating either way. Let's be run. And if you take it, then you have knight f7 takes, queen takes rook, run. And here I'm wondering, does just rook here check work? King to e7. Bishop at d6 just to seal it off. Seal and checkmate. That's really nice. That's really, really nice. Okay, so on to game 10, which I've just been distracted from and therefore missed. So it's e4 again. Queen f3. Queen has to go back to d1, or okay, d3 to cover c2. Defend the knight. f2 is under severe attack. He's going to just sack to blow open f2. Hitting that knight. That knight's got nowhere to go apart from a stupid a4 square or retreating. So he doesn't move at all. And the reason he wants the knight is to drop it here, so that's hence the bishop. But okay, so black just really slow playing this. Okay. So the score is 6-3 to Kleerkast. Someone else is going to type that quicker than me. Apparently not. Yeah, so, I mean, if I just rewind. So maybe in this position, castling straight away would have been slightly safer, but okay. Takes. He could have gone straight in for a knight g4, but maybe this e3 square is well covered, so instead he decides to harass the queen and just say that his position is much stronger. Okay, so he just retreats. He hits that knight trying to undermine the protection of the knight on e4. So swaps. If the knight ever moves, queen is coming into h7, which is a big problem. So he's going for an attack on g2. You might think, well, why can't you just take g2? But then the bishop would land on h3. So he has to run, but he's losing a rook now. And this is looking really bad for white. f6 is covered. There's no immediate counterplay. He's trying to prepare knight f6, which would indeed be a big problem if he ever got it in. But he's never going to get it in. King is probably going to just run. But he can't run too far, I'm sure. Now the back rank is covered. If he had another knight, it would be really nice. Doesn't. Okay, so he's got a queen. Drops a pawn. Okay, knight f6 is now a big problem. He has to Queen takes knight. Yes, yes. And the idea is knight at c4. King comes up. Knight g2. Knight c4, knight g2. Would be a draw. Knight b2, I meant. That would be a repetition. The king could run this way, to be fair. But he doesn't. He decides to take the rook. So now knight to c4 and rook. Oh no, rook. That's covered. Too bad. Knight c4, knight d2. He could still run to here. Okay, this knight is just going to be taken. This is just knight is beautiful because now we don't need a second knight. Knight c4, knight at b2. Drop a rook here. And that's checkmate. Knight at c4, knight at b2. Okay, we're going to see mate in 2 now. Knight at b2, checkmate. Well, I call the knight at b2 part. So congratulations to Kleerkast, who takes a 7-3, who wins the match 7-3, and congratulations to blitzbullet. Really good finish with 5 in a row. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Okay, signing out.